Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm just going to be discussing what I actually use from my computer science degree on my placement that I'm currently on. So I've not finished my placement. I will finish my placement around August, but I just thought I want to say we're over 7 months in, so just a useful video to know. One thing that I didn't really think about when applying is that you can branch into other areas that you've not really explored, which is what I've ended up doing. So I'm more so consulting based than software dev. So that's why my role is a little different, but let's get into it. Long story short, what did I use for my degree? Nothing. Really nothing. My role is very much low code, since I am using the Power Platform, which is Microsoft's low code platform. So the most I use is, well, the thing I use the most a lot is really if statements, kind of because it's out of the box components. So I'm dragging a button onto a screen when I'm building an app, and then it's just configuring what that button actually does. So say if the form is not complete, disable the button, or if the form is complete, then I'm gonna also add a patch statement to push the form submissions into what I mainly use as a SharePoint list. So a lot of if statements, patch statements, set, navigate, and then also with each component there is going to be a lot of variables. So as I mentioned with the button, disabling is also, well, disabling is where you'd find that in the display mode. You'd have also just to change the look and feel of it, then that would be in customized in color, width, all that, X, Y positioning. And then there's also actions of like on start screen. So whether on my screen I have a navigation menu or a progress menu as well, then on my on start variable I'd also add stuff in there just to configure how the page actually works and the actual feel of it, because obviously if you're just pulling in components, they're not going to interact with each other, so you need to get that across, and that's where the low code side comes in, and that's mostly made up of ifs, state, navigates. To be honest, I can't think of other statements that I've used a lot, but those are the main ones. And then you also have flows. I feel like flows and apps kind of go hand in hand with the Power Platform suite, because you've got the flows that might do a lot of background stuff, especially since organizations, as they're using it, they're not just using an app. It's like, how do you manage the app almost? So if I'm submitting requests for an asset or a new account, then is the person just constantly looking at the SharePoint list and receiving it? So that's where the flows come in. So one of the flows, or one of the many flows I've built actually, has been like on submission of a form, then you send an email to the team that will manage all those asset requests and everything. So also with the flows, there are a lot of just out of the box components as well. So when you've got an action, so my send email action, I'll also have a query section, which is where again the low code comes in, and that query will just be like, if this thing that they're requesting is a flow, or if it was requested today. And then you've got like your starting action, which is on new creation of an item from the SharePoint list, then send emails for all this. So again, with the flows, I guess that the flows are mainly based on organization, how you're ordering the components of the flows, but then you do have those small queries. They're not SQL queries, but they're more so the kind of if statements as well. But I use a lot of less than, greater than, or making sure that I'm actually pulling from an exact record. So yeah, things like that. But while the technical skills are very different from what I'm used to in uni, but it's also like the soft people skills that are really interesting as well, since we are client focused. It's a consulting firm. You see the interactions with the clients, the way deadlines are organized, how we're managing our time, billing our time as well. So that's a lot of things that I feel not a lot of, say, tech companies will really deal with, because some of them are very much in-house stuff, or when you are working as a software dev, you're working in-house because the people you're working for are the ones that will be client facing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I guess with the way I work, the stuff I'm building is very much client facing, so you hear a lot about the requests, the deadlines, the budgets. Even when asking for more time to be put on the board, I kind of see the process that goes into, because it's not something that's instantly added on, because there is monetary value with that. So sort of organization and planning that comes in from that. But yeah, it's very good. So while I do have some coding components, it's never going to be as much as straight building an app from scratch with no out-of-pocket components. But I really do enjoy it. I think it's something that I probably wouldn't have explored before, but I'm very happy that I have had this opportunity to explore it. And I feel like it is something that I could see myself doing again. But yeah, hope you've learnt a little bit more about placement. I think I'm going to do another placement video just to see about stuff to bear in mind and planning for it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video, and as always, rock on.